Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday. Thank you so much for coming back, and I really appreciate it. And I hope everyone's had a great weekend so far. I'm just going to jump right into it because it's an ongoing case right now, and it's about Kada Scott. And so this case is just very, very, very strange to me. And so let's jump into who is Kada Scott, what do we know, and what are the police saying? So Kada Scott is a young 23-year-old Black woman who has been missing since the night of October 4th around 9:45, 9:50 p.m. after her shift. So after leaving her job at an assisted living facility in Philadelphia. And so Philadelphia detectives say that her car was still found parked outside of her job, but there's no surveillance cameras in the area. Additionally, her cell phone hasn't been in use since she went missing, so since work. There has been no activity on her social media accounts, and they cannot find a trace of her keys or anything. It is the strangest thing. It's like she just disappeared, like out of nowhere. Police have not confirmed if foul play has been involved. So here's what the police said a few days after she was reported missing on October 8th. So Police Chief Captain John Craig of Philadelphia, you have a 23-year-old young lady who has completely disappeared. We have no cell phone activity or social media activity, and she has not reached out to her family or friends. And so the police, they are now calling and seeking for the public to help because they are hitting dead ends. They cannot trace her steps. It's truly like she vanished. And so a little bit about Kada Scott and what she looks like, just in case you may be in the Philadelphia area, but I would even say it has been a week, so she may have crossed state lines, so we should all be vigilant. So Kada is about 5'6", 120 pounds. So she's a thin build, and she has brown eyes and black hair. And this is where it gets weirder and honestly does not sit right with me at all. Is that the Philadelphia police, are currently investigating suspicious phone calls Scott told her friends she had been receiving days prior leading up to her disappearance. So the police chief says, days prior to her disappearance, Miss Scott related to her family and friends that unknown individuals or person had been harassing her via the phone. We are investigating that. We are trying to learn more. And I'm hoping they do. I don't understand how there's no surveillance. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a bit surprised by that because I would have thought a senior living facility would have cameras. So I mean, they definitely should now because it's very serious. So I would love to learn more about that. It's not something that I'm gonna harp on, but I'd love to learn more about the surveillance there. But also, I would be curious to see how they investigate the surrounding homes or buildings and if they have surveillance. And I will say, the police are not ruling out foul play. So now that we know that she's disappeared, nobody's heard from her, she was receiving calls of harassment days prior to her disappearance, there's no surveillance footage, her keys, no social media activity, nothing. Nothing was dropped. There was nothing on the ground. This is very, very strange. So here's an update as of Friday, October 10th. So the police said on Friday that unfortunately they believe she may not be missing voluntarily. While the police did stop short of saying there may be foul play in this case, they did say that there are troubling facts connected to her disappearance. So on Friday, October 10th, the police gave us all an update. So the police developed evidence that led them to an arboretum in Germantown, Philadelphia. And it's located 3 miles away from where Kada was last seen, so where she disappeared from. So far, the deputy commissioner said that the police have not found anything related to the investigation. However, keep in mind, they are looking through 55 acres, and it's an all-wooded area, and there's a lot of fences and activity going on in there, so it's not easy for them to search with just a few detectives. So they were only allocated a few detectives on this case. I'll be honest, you guys, not to make this political, but I would rather my tax dollars go to paying missing people detectives than these ICE thugs roaming around the streets. So I thought that was interesting that there was a little bit of an update that they're searching an area It is Sunday. It's been 2 days. I have no idea if they've worked over the weekend, but we are definitely going to keep the pulse to figure out what happened because this is the strangest case. So, what is her family saying? Well, the whole family said they're very hopeful that she will come home, and I agree. I'm absolutely hopeful. Her father, Kevin Scott, recently said, I never went through this before, trying to remain, keep my composure, hoping everything works out. I just want her back. It's my daughter. We're all concerned. It's going on a week as of tomorrow. I just want her back as soon as possible to make sure she's safe. We want her home. Her mother also has come out with her father earlier on in the investigation, and they both said, she's my oldest daughter. I love her. These past 2 days have been crazy. My head is spinning trying to figure out what is going on. I just couldn't imagine. I just could not imagine waking up one day and your daughter's just gone, but we don't know where she is. She just disappeared. How in a first world country does someone just disappear? I'm also very encouraged to hear that the Philadelphia police are on it already. Because, unfortunately, when I'm covering the Trey Reed case and more, the police fail Black and brown folks when it comes to missing people. And I just don't understand how this is possible. I'm heartbroken for the family. And the reason why I'm talking about it is because the family has asked the public very vocally, if you have any information, please come forward. They're at a dead end. This is so strange. I'm not really seeing a lot of chatter about it, which, I get it. There's so many missing persons cases. But man, let's just try to do our part. Listen, if you're in the Philadelphia area or surrounding, keep an eye out, reshare any, flyers or information about it. Follow all of the Philadelphia police Instagrams and Twitters and social media pages, as well as local news like ABC6 Philadelphia, NBC 10 Philadelphia. So there's a few that I've been following to keep up, and I'll report back, and I just hope she's found safe. And whoever has been harassing her needs to be investigated, period, regardless if they have something involved with this case, or if they are involved with this case. Harassment needs to be stopped, and people need to be taught a lesson. You can't just go around harassing people, period. I hope she's found safe. And yeah, like I said before, we're going to keep the pulse. Thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate it. Bye.